What's up, comic book community? My name is Joe, and this is 360 Comics. You may notice we're in a different location today, and that is because we are doing some reorganization up in the comic book room. So for right now, we're using the living room to film. Don't worry, we'll be back to normal soon. Anyway, we're talking about an event that I went to this past weekend, WinterCon at Upper Darby High School in the Philadelphia suburbs. It was the first time they ever had this event, but it was really well run. Tons of people there. I sold a bunch of books, but I actually ended up buying more than I sold, so I'm here to show you my haul today. If you have not yet entered our double slab giveaway, you have 2 days left to do so. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go check out our double slab giveaway video from 2 weeks ago. Like that video and leave a comment on it with an interesting fact about Marvel and an interesting fact about DC. I'll be picking a winner live on Instagram Wednesday night. So good luck. All right, we're going to kick it off with this Harley Quinn trade paperback. This collects a bunch of the early Harley Quinn stories, and it was just like $1 or $2. I forget exactly how much, but easy pickup for that price. Harley Quinn's such a popular character. Then we've got House of Slaughter #1. This is the Virgin variant cover. I don't think it's like a ratio variant or anything, or a 1 per store, but you know, this is a popular title that people collect, and, you know, it's got the cool significance of being a Virgin cover. This right here is a book I have a couple copies of. I think it is a really solid read, as well as amazing artwork. This is written by Alan Moore, artwork by none other than Alex Ross. This is Promethea from America's Best Comics, I believe now defunct indie publisher. This is a harder book to find. I don't find nearly as many of them as other like early 90s or mid 90s independent stuff. But then we got Iron Man #220. This is the second appearance of Ghost, character who has come into the MCU within the last couple years and who is going to stick around for Thunderbolts. Then we've got Iron Man 283. This is the second appearance of the War Machine armor. This is still Tony Stark wearing the War Machine armor, not yet Rhodey. Then we got all new Wolverine #3. The second appearance of Gabby, aka Honey Badger, who is a important supporting character of Laura Kinney's. And then we've got Radioactive Spider-Gwen #1. This character, immensely popular, only going to get more popular with the additional Spider-Verse movies. We're getting Across the Spider-Verse in less than a year now. We got some Guardians of the Galaxy action going on, and this property's really hot right now with the trailer just dropping for Volume 3, as well as the holiday special. And this is just a really cool homage cover, you know, of Wolverine #1 from the limited series. Really great cover of Rocket Raccoon. We got another Spider-Gwen book here. This is issue #4 of her first ongoing, and it's the variant cover. You know, for variant collectors, a lot of modern collectors grab the variants and stuff. I'm not sure who does the art on this, but it's really nice. I really like it. The sunrise especially, or sunset, whatever that is. This is a book I've picked up for $1 or $2 quite often. X Factor #92. Not only is it part of the Fatal Attractions run, but it's also the first appearance of Exodus, and that could be a really cool character to explore for the MCU if they, you know, once they bring mutants in, because it's a character that has never really shown up before in bigger projects. But then we got Thor #6. Now this is that issue that the second to last page has Thanos holding Mjolnir, which is encrusted with Infinity Gems. And Donny Cates has said that he's going to come back to this storyline at some point. I think it was a premonition, that vision of Thanos like that. So I'm hoping it eventually happens. I have a bunch of copies. Keep in mind that the second printing of this book has that scene on the cover. And it's a wraparound cover. So really cool to look out for. This next one is a book that I forget who talked about it recently, but someone on YouTube or Instagram noted this book recently as a good one to pick up as far as recent keys. This is Daredevil Woman Without Fear #3. This is the third and final issue of the 3-issue Chip Zdarsky limited series before it rebooted Daredevil at #1 with Elektra in the role. But this is the first appearance of the Archpriestess of the Hand, who is not only a Daredevil character in the current run, but also in the current run of Punisher. So this is something that they could eventually, utilize more. Certainly being utilized in the comics, though, at this point, could come eventually to television, movies, who knows. But definitely a character that is being utilized a lot in the comics at this present time. We got What If number 50 from Volume 2. What if what if Hulk had killed the Wolverine, as opposed to in the first volume they did What If Wolverine had killed the Hulk. But this is the opposite play on that. It's got a foil cover, and it's a newsstand, which I've never found one of those in a newsstand before. This book is from, I think, like 93, 94, so a little bit harder to find in a newsstand. Then we got Black Panther number 5. This is I believe, the second appearance of Tosin. And as we know, this is a character that could end up taking on the mantle of Black Panther in the future of the MCU. I think we're going to have to wait a while to see if that comes to fruition. But nonetheless, pretty solid book, second appearance. And he's on the cover, and it's an homage to one of the modern Grails, Ultimate Fallout 4, first Miles Morales. Then we got Sentry number 2, second appearance of Sentry. Number 1 is a very hard book to find, especially in high grade, because it's an all-black cover. Not sure why this is so tough to find. It's a modern book, but I guess not a lot of people were picking up Sentry number 1s, and it is the character's first appearance, this being the second appearance. Then we got Venom number 1. I don't even know what run this is from, but this was in a dollar bin. I figured, hey, Venom's a popular character. I'm sure someone will want this. Whether I put it throw it in with someone's order who got a bunch of Venom stuff, or if, it has any value on its own. I don't think there's any, key significance to that book, but, it's just the number 1. People pick up the number 1s. That is certainly a great cover. Then we've got Amazing Spider-Man 300 reprint, and this is the Amazing Spider-Man Venom number 1, they call it, but it is a 3D reprint, and it is polybagged with the 3D glasses at the bottom. Pretty gimmicky, but nonetheless, people love their Venom stuff. Now these next 4, I think it's 4? No, it's only 3. 3 copies. Definitely happy about finding these. This is Captain Carter number 1. First appearance of Captain Carter in comics. The true Captain Carter. Not, Sharon Carter as... Peggy Carter as Captain Britain. This is actually Captain Carter, given that name. And, she appeared in What If. She appeared in, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And this has become, not a super hot key. It was pretty hyped up for a while, but it has since come down in price. It's now about $10. There was also this 1 in 10 designed variant that went along with that, so I was really happy to find that one. Then we got some Guardians of the Galaxy. This is issue number 13. First appearance of the Spirit of Vengeance, a Ghost Rider from the future. It is a newsstand, 90s newsstands. You know the deal. A little bit more rare. Some people like them, especially if they are high grade. And to go along with it, we had both newsstand. Look at that. 2 copies of Ghost Rider 15 as well. This is the first ever glow-in-the-dark cover. All that white stuff, that's all glow-in-the-dark. So this is definitely a book that people pick up for that significance alone. Then we got a couple copies, 1, 2, 3 copies of Captain America 34. We got a Brubaker run as well as an Alex Ross cover. This is the first appearance of Bucky as Captain America. So Bucky takes on the mantle in this issue. These sell for about $15, which I actually think is kind of low for a Brubaker cap key, but nonetheless, that's the going rate at this current moment, and we'll have to see if it ever picks up steam, maybe due to a What If, or maybe in the future of the MCU. You never know. Although I doubt it, being that Sam Wilson is taking on the role coming up. Anyway, we got 4 copies. Yeah, you heard it. 4 copies of Gwenpool #1, the unbelievable Gwenpool. And yeah, these are all really sharp copies, and these sell for $10, $12 a piece, I think. It's her first solo. It's not her first appearance, but guess what? Boom! Her first appearance is right here. This was in one of the bins as well. Howard the Duck #1 from the Zdarsky run, and it's got her down at the bottom right here. That is her first appearance in this comic book. Be careful because there are 2 Howard the Duck #1s that have very similar cover art. The other one is not the first appearance of Gwenpool, so it is a pretty low value book. You might be able to find it in dollar bins. This one is about $15 given the first appearance. And yeah, it's certainly a character that we may eventually see. Now I'm going to clear this Marvel stuff out because we are going over to DC. And I just realized that for some reason I had the Harley Quinn with the Marvel stuff. But, you know, it is what it is. We're going to go start off with Doom Patrol #1. This is from the 1987 Doom Patrol run. I don't think there's any key significance in this book other than it being the reboot of Doom Patrol. It is a much more similar team to what we see on the television show. We got Justice League #1 from the New 52 run. And also from the New 52 run, Aquaman #1. This is the first appearance of Trench. And, you know, we got an Aquaman sequel coming out. You never know, you know, what popularity that will bring. It really depends on how the movie is received by critics and fans. DC has not done the best job recently of putting out, you know, fan favorite movies, but you never know. This is Batman Incorporated #8. I believe, if I remember correctly, this is the death of Damian Wayne. And this was a very hot book for a while. I think it ended up on some hot lists and stuff, but it has since cooled down significantly. I figured picking it up for $1 or $2, no problem. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but pretty much all of these books were from dollar bins or $2 bins. A couple of them, which I'll mention in a little bit, were a little bit more than that, but it still came out to less than $2 per book. Then we got Nightwing '81, first appearance of Heartless. I've talked about this book several times, both around when it came out as well as, you know, just finding it for cheap, for less than cover price. And this is a book that came out just last year and is the first appearance of a new character. It's got a great cover as well. And this is actually my favorite current run of comics that is coming out right now. Speaking of favorite current runs, this is my second favorite current run. Nice House on the Lake #1. This is the cover B variant cover, not an incentive variant, but definitely a cool one with Walter on the cover there. Then we got some more New 52, this time Swamp Thing #1. Very popular character for sure. Then we got 2 copies of this right here, and these are both really, really high-grade, sharp copies. I don't think it's a book that I'd really get graded, but a collector who wants a high-grade copy of this, these are perfect for that. Detective Comics 648. This is the second appearance of Stephanie Brown, a.k.a. Spoiler. A lot of people get it mixed up with the first appearance because they have pretty similar color art as far... oh my gosh. Cover art as far as the color palette they use and stuff like that. Then we got Vigilante #1, first solo Vigilante book. This character has been super popular the past few years due to the past, I guess, about a year, maybe a little bit over a year since the Peacemaker show came out. Then we got Justice League of America #27. Sorry, Justice League America. There's no of in this one. This is the Amanda Waller Exorcism homage cover. If you're a fan of the horror movie genre, you'll recognize this cover as being the poster art for The Exorcism. This book came out just last year, and I figured picking up for far under cover price at just $1 was good. Batman Reptilian #1. Just a cool little mini-series about a reptilian version of Batman. Then we got Impulse #1, first solo Impulse, and it's a newsstand. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have picked this up if it wasn't a newsstand, but, you know, it's a 90s book. It's going to have a little bit more value in that sense. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Justice League Europe number 1. And this, or sorry, not number 1, number 33, excuse me. This is the first appearance of Sonic the Hedgehog in a standard-sized comic book. He did have somewhat of a preview, I guess you could say, in a 7-inch comic book, not standard size, you know, kind of about a little bit in the corner there. But this is the, you know, a preview, or a, you know, it's actually 16 pages, so it's like essentially a full comic of Sonic the Hedgehog inside this Justice League Europe book. So Sonic fans always can look out for this and get this as a much more affordable version of a first appearance. Then we got Tales of the Teen Titans, number 43. First appearance of Jericho. It's also one of the books in the Judas Contract run, which not only introduced Jericho, but also reintroduced Dick Grayson as Nightwing after he left the role of Robin. Then we got Justice League number 21 from New 52. This is the first appearance of the Marvel family in the modern age. That is the Captain Marvel family. I should clarify that. And then we got a Harley Quinn number 1. Really popular character. Beloved by many. Great number 1 from New 52. Awesome cover in my opinion. And we got Justice Society of America, number 3 from 2007. Alex Ross cover featuring Cyclone, and she just showed up in the Black Adam movie. Then we got a couple copies, 3 of them, of Justice League, number 1. This is from the 1987 reboot, something like that, 1988, 87. Says it on the cover. Stop sliding. Don't do that. We're going to have to repile in just a second. This is the first appearance of... Oh, who is this? I'm forgetting off the top of my head, so apologize for that. But it is a first appearance also. It is a number 1, which, again, a lot of people collect the number 1s, the first issue in the run. I was very surprised to see these all for just $1 or $2. Deathstroke the Terminator number 15. This is the first appearance of... Rose, the daughter of Deathstroke, and you know, she's appeared and she was in the Titans show. She could definitely be integrated into this new DC universe that we're getting. I have to assume that we're going to get Deathstroke properly on the big screen at some point, so you know, always look out for that. But she's certainly an important character, whether she appears in live action stuff or not. Now, this is a book that I actually did not know blew up until recently. This is a book I always pick up, Batman and Robin, number 1, first Damian Wayne, Batman and Robin series, all that stuff. But it's also the first appearance of Professor Pig, and I guess it's blown up in value recently, some speculation. I'm not sure what that's about. If you know, leave it in the comments down below. I've had some people ask for this at claim sales recently, and I've been selling them pretty cheap compared to what they've been selling for online. But yeah, now I know that. Now I'm aware of that significance there. Then we got the Joker number 3. This is the 1 in 25. Who does this variant? This is a Matina. I'm blanking. Oh, it starts with an F. Federici. This is a Federici variant featuring Jim Gordon on the front. Absolutely amazing cover. This one might stay in the personal collection. Not sure about that. I have a couple of those Federici covers, so this one might end up staying with me. Then we've got not just 1, not just 2, not just 3, but 4 copies of Green Lantern number 39. The first appearance of the Orange Lantern, Larfleeze. Was very surprised to find these so cheap. This is a big Green Lantern key as far as this Blackest Night run. And then, for some reason, we have some more X-Men. Some of the Marvel looks like it got mixed in with the DC, but this is the first appearance of Onslaught. It is a newsstand. It's not super high grade. High grade newsstands in this book sell for like $40+. This one is not going to go for as much because it has a bunch of spine ticks. Still, nonetheless, good for just $1 or $2. We've got some... What, silver? This is actually, this is Golden Age, 1954, Little Lulu on Vacation, number 1. Can't pass up Golden Age stuff for just $1. Same thing with this. This is actually 1949, Little Lulu, number 16. Not a huge market for these cartoon books, but people out there do want them, and they're great entry-level Golden Age books. Very, very affordable compared to like some of the horror books and stuff. This is Spectacular Spider-Man number 131. This is actually the first appearance of Ashley Kafka. It's a newsstand, and boom, look at that. It is signed by Bob McLeod. And am I pronouncing his name wrong? I bet I am. It's McLeod, and I've always said in my head Bob McLeod, but I feel like that's wrong. So if someone wants to correct me in the comments, please let me know how to pronounce Bob's name. Then we got Simpsons Comics and Stories number 1. This one right here is the first appearance of Simpsons in full in comic books. It is polybagged, and you definitely want to look out for a 9/8 copy of this because they go for a crazy amount in 9/8, but it drops off so much when it goes down to a 9/6. This one, likely a 9/6. It does have a little spine tick right there. I'm not expecting to get a 9/8. I'll probably just sell this one raw as a high-grade polybagged copy. These next two books are the only two that I spent more than a buck or two on. I spent $10 a piece on these, and I think I got a pretty good deal. We've got Howard the Duck number 12. This is the first cameo appearance of Kiss in comics. They're on the last page. A little splash page cameo appearance. And then this one right here, their first full appearance in comics. Kiss has exploded beyond what other bands have, almost strictly because of their flash and because of merchandising. They've got action figures, bobbleheads, even before, like, Funko Pop started making bands and stuff like that. Kiss had that kind of memorabilia already, and that's probably where they've made most of their money and stood out most as a band. And comic appearances like this and magazine appearances are one of the things that fans collect, that are just huge Kiss fans. So always a good little crossover there. And then we got Avengers West Coast number 56. This is the first full appearance and first cover appearance of Dark Wanda, the evil version of Scarlet Witch that emerges during this part of the timeline in the Marvel Universe. And as we've seen her in the MCU recently, very similar characterization as this one. Next, we got a pretty gosh darn good one right here. This is the third to last book of the Darkhawk run, issue number 48. It is also the first cameo appearance of Overhawk, and there were 2 copies. This book is pretty rare, especially in high grade, just because it was a low print run right before the book got canceled in the mid to late 90s. I'm not sure exactly what year this is, probably like 98 or something like that. But nonetheless, hard book to find, but the only thing better than this was an issue 49. Actually, an issue 50, which is the last issue. That would have been, I think, the best. I think that is the most expensive. But issue number 49 is the first full appearance of Overhawk, and it is a really scarce, again, really late run issue, the second to last issue in the run. And this was already like not a super popular title, so the print run was down real low at this point. I have only come across this book one other time, and it was at an LCS, and I think it was on their wall for like $60. I got this for $2. This was definitely the buy of the day, and these two definitely have some value too. Not quite as much as issue 49, but this was the score of the day. So like I said, all that stuff that I've shown you, all of this, about $1 or $2 for most of these books, other than the 2 Howard the Duck books. The total amount for, I think there was like 85 books or so, like something like that. I think in total I paid about $170. It came out to almost exactly $2 a book. So I think I did really well with that. Despite there being no heavy hitters in this haul, it still ended up being a solid purchase, mainly because of the price that I got things at. It was a really good deal all around for the books that I got, and you know, some of this stuff is going to be available for sale in claim sales and at future shows and Back Deck Comic Fest when spring rolls around, and then some of it is also staying in the personal collection, which really, that's the goal in all of this. If I didn't collect comics myself, I would not be going through all this effort to buy and sell and fund my own collection. So that's always a win in my book. Anyway, there was another group of books that I actually purchased from someone. This was just a random attendee who came in with a stack of DC stuff, maybe about a foot high, and he said it was all duplicates of stuff that he already had, all 90s and 2000s, so you know, nothing older, no major keys or anything like that. There were a couple books with, you know, some value, some small value, Batgirl #1 from New 52, stuff like that, couple little runs and story arcs. He just wanted to get rid of it. Like he said, he had accidentally picked these up as duplicates, and he just wanted $10 for them. So I gave him $10. I took the stack of books. Nothing really exciting to show, but just something to mention here, because it's always a good situation when someone approaches you at a convention you're selling at or a flea market and says they have comics for sale. I did end up getting a couple people's phone numbers, so maybe those will pan out into future collection purchases and subsequent videos. But, you know, that one, it wasn't really worth, you know, showing off or anything like that. But just know that that is something that does happen and can lead to some really good scores. Anyway, hope you liked the video, and make sure you check out my claim sale Wednesday evening. We're not doing Friday this week, but Wednesday evening, I'm going live on Instagram with James from Mint Hunter Comics, and we'll be selling comic books for a couple hours. So hope to see you there, and until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.